say that we didn't give them a chance to say what they had to say.
Yeah, Reds. I wasn't planning on speaking today.
Oh, it's ragging too. Yeah. Barbershop right there. Familiar? Look at that face real quick. Can you see it? Familiar, huh?
I can't tell.
You got the contact?
Yeah, I do. How's it going?
Appreciate it.
Y'all ready?
Ready to go when you are.
All right, thank you all for coming out today. As you know, a week ago, 7 days ago, last Wednesday, we were here holding a press conference. We had contractors with us, subcontractors on this Beecher Terrace development project who came to us with claims that they are owed money from Messer. They've been discriminated against by Messer, and they have been ignored by Messer. So they came to our organization, and last week we gave them 7 days to give us a response, pay these contractors, give us a response, and give us something of substance, or we'll be back in 7 days. And today we are back because we have not received what we asked for Messer to fulfill. Within this past week, we've talked with more contractors. More contractors have come out to us who have been major parts of this development who also claim that they're owed money. We've reached out to the people that are responsible for funding the first $35 million on this project. We reached out to the mayor's office. There are investigations that are ongoing as we speak into the matters of these subcontractors and Messer Construction. We want to come today, since we have not got our wishes fulfilled, and demand 3 things today. The first thing that we are demanding is that Messer Construction show their MBE numbers to the public. And what do I mean by the MBE numbers? I mean, show the numbers of minority contractors that you have from phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 of this project. The contractors that we are in contact with, their plight is that they have been replaced with white contractors. So that's why we reached out to the original funding partners of this program, because they got the funding based off of the MBE numbers that they presented at the beginning of the project. So if you replace the black contractors with white contractors, are you still meeting the requirements of the minority contractors on this project, or are you exploiting the people that you brought in on this contract so you can feed your friends? The second thing that we are demanding is Lisa Osanka, the head of Louisville Metro Housing Authority. This is all happening under her watch. You know, when she got in the office, I spoke to a couple of people. 2 years ago, they came to her about this exact project, about how they need to include black contractors on these major projects in the West End, and this is all happening under her watch. So we demand that she is fired, resigned, step down to that position because she has lost the trust of the people in the community. These $1 million contracts, tens of $1 million contracts being put up, and every time you drive past, you only see white contractors working on it.
Yeah.
So we demand for her resignation. And the last thing that we demand is that we demand this Beecher Terrace development to stop. You know, that makes no sense for this project to keep going if they've nullified, you know, technically with the original funding that they got on this project. $35 million was fronted to start this project based on the MBE numbers, and a lot of those MBE contractors have been replaced with white contractors. So we demand that Beecher Terrace stops this development. So show the MBE numbers, Messer. We want to see what the numbers are. Lisa Osanka, we're calling for her to step down from that position because she has lost the trust of the people in the community and went against her word. And 3, we demand that this project is stopped. If we have to, we'll bring as many people out here as we can every week until we get what we're looking for, so these contractors are paid, and until Lisa Osanka responds to us and answers what our questions are.
Black people, people of color, we are just tired. We are tired of this nonsense. And I don't know how much they think we can take. We've been fighting all of our life, like sealing the color purple. We're tired. And we want this institutional way of doing business to stop immediately. We know contractors, if they owe me the money that they owe some of these African American contractors, I couldn't sleep. I would assemble a group of people. They owe black contractors over $1 million. One of them behind us is owed $250,000. I said to him, and I said to you, there's no way in the world Messer could owe me $250,000 and show up every day and work. Then there's another African-American contractor that's owed $1 million. Then another one that's owed $600,000. So, I mean, what they think we gonna do? The weather's changing.
Yes,
Time is fertile.
That's right. Yeah.
And we're gonna come down here and take care of our business. And you can bet on that. Lisa Osanka ought to be walked out of her office today.
yes,
Numbers don't lie.
Yes.
Show us the numbers.
yes.
And then they ought to stop this project right now until these issues are resolved. We know what their response is because we already heard what they're going to say. And it's not so. This young man behind me, he built phase 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
What kind of madness is that? They owe him $250,000, and yesterday we get a notice they're willing to give him $30,000.
Much money.
The disrespect.
Yeah. So if they admit they owe him $30,000,
Might as well give him those.
you might as well pay the bill of $250,000.
And some, because now
And
we're pain
some.
and suffering.
That's
Now we're
right.
Pain and suffering.
Pain and suffering. So we're not going to give them a week from today. We're going to show up when we get ready. And they better have somebody walking this place, because it's insufferable, unthinkable, unimaginable that they have the audacity, the gall to owe somebody this kind of money. All they want to do is feed their families, like Messer want to do. We tired of these sellout Negroes. Came to the meeting the other day and tried to diffuse. But the same guy that's able to write that $35 million a check, we are sure that something's going to happen. Charlie, you want to say something? Tell them you want your money.
I want to
Want
tell
our
you
money.
right now that I will not go until I receive payment for what you owe me, pain and suffering for discrimination.
Yes.
I've done these projects for 23 years.
Yeah.
I started out in Park Duval. I did Liberty Green. I did Shepherd Square.
Yep.
And I never lost one penny to a contractor that I worked for. I had architects awards for these jobs. I just want my money. They told me yesterday in negotiations, when me and Mr. White, my liaison here for the Wheat Foundation, sit down with them, we wanted to negotiate them to continue to do work in phase 3. They told us phase 3 for you as a minority contractor is off the table. We will pay your bills and you sign the lien waivers and we leave. We got up from that table yesterday and told them the fight is on. And I meant every word I said.
Talk, sister. Talk about the plight that we suffer with. You don't mind?
Don't mind.
All right.
I love Louisville Metro Housing Authority.
Oh, you do?
Oh, they're one of the biggest slumlords in the city, so it only makes sense that they're out here in a situation, the biggest slumlord in the city. Lisa Osenka knows my name. She make a shawl. I've been reaching out to you for a long time. You know my name and my story. So it only makes sense that I have to stand here in solidarity with my brothers on an affordable housing project and minorities are not getting paid. We got a problem with that. Lisa Osenka, guess what? It's getting warm. Springtime is coming. We not tired. I'm boots on the ground every day. We got a problem with our Section 8 program, not moving tenants out of housing. So y'all are creating homelessness right now. Y'all are putting tenants in a situation to where they don't have a choice but to move out of projects and properties. But you over here with the audacity to tear down affordable housing, use minority MBEs, kick them off the project, pay the white people. And now you gonna bill Mr. Charlie $100,000 for what you pay the white man to complete 10% of his project? No, baby, you can ready to pay me 100% of the affordable housing trust fund that you got up there. You're gonna pay me 100% to build real affordable housing.
Love you, sister.
Real affordable housing. We coming for
Love
you.
you,
We coming for you because I'm at the table. We at the table. See, that's where you messed up because you allowed us to get at the table. These are minority contractors that worked in every phase of this project. Messer, why do we have a problem now? Because they hired a contractor that didn't do residential. You brought in a commercial contractor to do their first residential on Beecher Terrace project. We just did a whole webinar about how the Beecher Terrace project went. They lied the whole time. That cute little story, no. It was over 500 plus families that was displaced from this project. We still trying to locate those families. So Louisville Metro Housing, y'all got bigger problems than just Messer. The city, Lisa Osenka, been not trusting you. We ain't never trusted you.
Thank you, sister.
So Louisville Metro Housing Authority, be on alert. We got time.
Go ahead, please do.
For every contractor that wasn't paid, it affected a subcontractor. So I personally was affected by John Hillard not getting paid on this project. So, you know, a part of his $650,000, there's some money in there for me too. And what she told me down at the Messer office down there was that there is ridiculous amounts of fines that's involved with labor that's going unpaid. So, you know, I contacted the EEO and currently we're starting an investigation to find out how many hours does that add up to as far as Mr. Charles, John Hillard, Adrian Franklin. How many different subs did they sub out the work out to? How many different contractors is out here suffering? New businesses crash because of Beecher Terrace. But you have actively people just right here working, making it look good. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I just want to make sure that I want to make it clear. The investigation for fraud and discrimination, yeah, you can offer what you want to these different contractors to remedy what is already owed, but there's a need for an investigation to find out why is it okay for these different fraudulent actions to happen on several projects. You build in our neighborhoods, you tell us that we're supposed to be a part of it, and then when we do the work, you kick us off the project. I'm done. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Do y'all have any questions? Anybody have any questions?
I have a question for Shamika. Hey, Shamika, good to see you.
Good to see you.
I get messages every day from people who are being evicted, and although this does not specifically have to do with the black contractors who are not being paid on this particular project, I know you have a lot of resources for folks who are getting evicted, and as you said, increasing our homelessness every day.
Right now, there is a whole bunch of resources. There was just made like $22 million for eviction prevention funds, and also for funds to help families to relocate, to help pay security deposits and rents. So if you go on to stopmyeviction.org, fill out the forms, and then you will be assigned a caseworker. Someone will reach out to you, whether it's legal aid, whether it's myself, if it's a situation to where I have to come and physically, we physically have to meet the landlord. But there are resources available. StopMyEviction.org. The Office of Resilience has money. Go to your neighborhood places because there's money available for LG&E and water. They're paying up to $500 through this fund from the city for LG&E and waters, and then LIHEAP has money. So there's no reason why anybody should really be evicted unless the landlord is refusing payment because they can't produce a W-9. So,
thank you. Listen, I just want to thank my sister, come here, and my sister. That they down for the fight, and it's just not these two, but our phone is ringing off the hook. Emails, I don't know how to do that, but our staff, we getting emails by the hour. Black folk are tired, and we don't get it how white folk working on this job have the nerve to keep on coming down in our neighborhood.
the nerves.
And raping our neighborhood, feeding their family, while we can't feed our family.
Because they're doing just what the enemy came to do, and that's to kill, steal, and destroy. And we're tired, and we're coming to valiantly take it by force. What the enemy stole from us. We're coming for our stuff back.
Thank you, sister. Anybody else want to say something?
Carrie Journal got a question.
Carrie Journal.
Everyone who spoke, spell their first and last name for me and what they do.
Go ahead, sister.
I'm Shemaika Shaw, SHEMAEKA and I'm the Broken Hearted Homes Renters Association, and also a co-owner of the H3 community, which we're building homeless shelters and affordable housing.
Thank you, sister.
My name is Charles Scott. The name of my company is C.E. Scott and Associates. C.E. Scott _1964 @att.net. We've been a minority contractor for over 25 years, doing Hope 6 projects for 23 years.
My name is Alicia Richardson, and I did administrative work down here, kept their payroll, reporting in order for Branded Construction, which is a company that came under John Hillard. But I do have my own construction company, and it's ARGC Construction Group. Thank you. And my email address, I can give you my business email address is admin@argcconstructiongroup.com. So ALISIA Richardson. Thank you. I want to make sure I say we're not trying to cause problems. What we really is trying to do is be the solution. So if whatever that takes, and it needs a clean sweep. You know what I'm saying? In order for things to get better, we got to filter through all the ridiculousness first, get all those fraudulent people out of there. Then we can move on to better projects.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I just wanted to ask a simple question. It kind of relates to both of you. Is it odd that the same Office of Resilience that is providing all the money, that I think $22 million for people who are being evicted, are also those who are over decisions that make homeless camps get disrupted? I'm just kind of curious about seemingly a contradiction there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a contradiction because it's the city in itself. Like, this is the city's project. So it's only making sense that the gentrifiers, Mayor Fisher and the rest of his gentrifying friends, are allowing this to go on in our community because they don't care about black people. They just use their minority MBEs just to get the money for the project. Allow them to finish 90% of it and then fire him and let the other contractor do 10% and then tell him he didn't complete it. Oh, no, stop it. Because this is what y'all been doing all our lives. So like you said, it's a double standard. The scale ain't never balanced when it comes to black people. Scale ain't never been balanced. So what we come to do, though, is to balance the scale.
We're going to balance it.
Because the scale is going to be balanced based
gonna
off of what
balance
we
the
say
scale.
is balanced for us, not what you decide is balanced for us. We set the balance.
All right.
Charles, do you have documentation of the work that you did in the form of paperwork or change orders or photographs or video of any sort?
We just sit down at the office of Messer's office, me and Mr. Whitehead,
Yesterday was.
and we negotiated the numbers. They fixed the numbers to where they felt like I owed them $244,000. I bid it over $1.3 million in phase 1 and phase 2. So you're gonna tell me I took a loan out for $200,000 to bankroll this job, and I owe you $244,000. So out of $3 million, you tell me over 23 years experience that I'm stupid enough to lose $400,000?
That's enough, Charles. Don't tell them too much of you.
This is unexcusable. And another thing we want to make you aware of is that I know for a fact that you took my MBE numbers, bought in a non-MBE, finished up 3% of my work, and I have documented where you charged me over $100,000. The whole building.
What is necessary to get those MBE numbers released? I know that's one of the demands. That
Well, we are working with not the city, but we are working with directly with HUD, who signed the check. And they told us just yesterday, that's what they said. They waiting for the numbers.
Wow.
Messer won't even give them the numbers.
Before, this should be done before they start.
And so we're waiting, and then we were told and vaguely suggested that they may not give them the numbers. So Lisa Osanka needs to get fired. And you know what? We got a pitiful, poor mayor.
Yes.
Our mayor he's a pitiful, poor. He's done nothing, absolutely nothing, to make our community safe. Look, of all things, all choices out of 300 million people, he bring in Lisa, what's her last name? No, the chief of the police.
Shields.
Erica Shields. How in the world you can bring her in? She has no identity with the urban community. And you bring in a white woman to fight urban problems. We need a black chief, male or female, and we need a black mayor. My name is Jerome Sutton, Reverend Jerome Sutton. I'm an officer in the Louisville African American think tank. You spell my name GEROME. I'm tired.
Me too.
I'm 65. But we're going to come. They will see. You don't do this. You don't come down past 9th Street and try to get things controlled. They ain't doing that. Not on my watch.
Like you do in Hulu.
Yeah.
And my name Anthony Gaines, Gaines, how you spell the last name. And I'm the executive director at the African American think tank. And the last thing we want to say is, like everybody's already said, it's a systematic issue. It goes from Messer, it goes to Lisa Osanka with the Metro Housing Authority, it goes to the mayor's office, it even goes back to the governor. So we want all these issues addressed, and we'll be back when we're ready.
Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all got what y'all need.
Thank you, Rev.
Appreciate y'all so much.
Okay, I think I'll look at it.
We got up on the